beef I get. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios Podcast, a live stream episode number 190. I want to welcome everybody in on this Thursday afternoon. It's a Thursday afternoon, August 29th, 2024. Got some interesting stories here today. Got some iPhone news and have some foldable news as well. So if you're a fan of foldables, sort of like this one, then we got news for you today. Maybe Samsung's not your flavor, maybe another device is, and we have some news for you today in regards to that. But I want to welcome everybody in. Again, if you do miss or you join this podcast late, in the middle, at the end, you can always come back to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel and catch the replay. You can always listen to us in the audio form on any podcast platform out there. So wherever you get your podcast, search whatever app, whatever website, search eSIM Studios Podcast, or you can do what I do, just Google search eSIM Studios Podcast, and all of the platforms will pop up. And we're on all of them: Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, the wonderful application Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio, all that good stuff. We are there. Now, is anybody out there interested in getting an iPhone? I know that's kind of tippy-toe around the iPhone acquisition here. We are going to get one simply because I want to do testing between these new Android phones, these new flagship Android phones we have here in studio, and it gives me the right to troll Apple all I want to. So we will be getting an iPhone 16 Pro. Again, they did increase the screen size slightly from 6.1 inches on the iPhone 15 Pro to a 6.34 inches on the iPhone 16 Pro. It'll be roughly the same size. They're just minimizing the bezels, the little black perimeter, the little black border around your display. They're going to shrink that. It'll actually be the thinnest bezel on any phone ever made, but stuff like that is records or bragging rights like that only last for so long. Basically, a few months before Samsung comes out with a new phone that has the smallest bezels, or we have the biggest battery the brightest screen, right? So the brightest screen battle is a continuing battle that all these manufacturers, every new flagship that's released, they say, "Oh, our screen gets brighter. Our screen's the brightest. Our screen's the brightest." So it is what it is, right? So news is that the iPhone 16 series will be announced on September 9th. I believe you will be able to order them on the Thursday, the 12th. So the 9th is actually, you know what? When is the 9th? I believe it's a Monday. Let's see, calendar. Yes, September 9th, when the iPhone gets launched or announced, is September 9th, which is a Monday, and then you will be able to pre-order the iPhones on Thursday, September the 12th. So just a few days later, you can pre-order those. Now, the news that we have is the colors. Now, we've sort of released throughout these last few months different colors here and there that are coming out. Interesting. Some are getting lots of love and some are getting lots of hate, quite honestly. Let me pull up. Shame on me. I should have uploaded these photos. that I have here, but we will do that right now as I speak. So, uploading some photos, and we will review the colors that they're going to be coming out with, right? So, here we go. So, here is, I'm going to give you a live view of what they look like, and then basically a computer model, and then a live view. So, here's the iPhone 16 lineup in all the new colors. There's one new color per model. So you have the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 16 Plus, and iPhone 16 Pro Max. It will be the last year for the Plus model. That model's getting replaced next year. iPhone 17 Plus will be kicked out the door, and they will insert the iPhone 17 Air. But we got another year to wait, just like the Pixel 10 series, which is highly anticipated. Got to wait basically a whole another year for that. And then for the iPhone 17 model, that's when they really start to change not only design language, because that's going to look different. Let's face it, it's going to look different. It's going to look cool. They're kind of stepping out of this mold. Let me show you what we got. So they kind of changed it up for the iPhone 16. So here you have the iPhone 16 models. Now, from left to right, you got the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, iPhone 16 Pro, and iPhone 16 Pro Max. New color for the iPhone 16, the base model, is this sky blue. Look, we don't have official names yet. Well, there might be some speculation as to far as what they're going to name them at the moment, but right now nothing is set in stone, right? Nothing's confirmed, but as far as names go, but you know, they always have some stupid names for these colors, and that doesn't just go for Apple, that goes for every manufacturer. Like Google has the Pixel, the black Pixel, they call it Obsidian. Like, why don't you just call it black? That's what everybody else calls it. Oh, I'm gonna get the black Pixel. Or this, let's go back to iPhone. So some of I have like a space gray, or what are some of the other colors? Look, I don't know. Every manufacturer's got stupid names for their phones. Look, this one here for the iPhone 16 on the very left, it's basically a blue, right? Sky blue, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a blue color, right? So that'll be the new color for the iPhone 16. Now, moving on one notch over to the right is the iPhone 16 Plus. That's a greenish color. Green, blue. Is that a teal? It looks more green than anything. Maybe a forest green. We'll just say green for the iPhone 16. That's the Plus model there. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the one that's getting the most attention online. Is the third phone from the right. Third phone from the left. So you got the blue, the green, and then for the iPhone 16 Plus, you have that new brown color. I believe it's a bronze. A lot of people are making fun of it online, saying it looks like a Subway sandwich. Some are saying it looks like a hot, steaming pile of poop. It is a bronzish color. I don't know what color we are going to get. Not really sure right now. At this moment, I don't really care. But I think if I do have a choice, it's either going to be the jet black or it kind of looks like a matte black. Or maybe I'll just get this bronze because it's so ugly. I'm not sure if of course it'll sell well, but I'm just saying out of the other colors, sometimes, well, most of the time when Apple comes out with a new color per model, per SKU, it'll typically sell well. That'll be the most sought after iPhone. But this one might be a little different because it's getting a lot of hate online. It looks like something came out your backside. Sorry. But you know what? I think it's one of those things where it's going to look cool in person. I'm talking about the color, right? Because it's just like this, like these pixels. Like, so when I got that Pixel, when I got the Pixel Pixel 9 Pro XL, the black wasn't too wild about the black, but when you get it in hand, you see it with your real eyes, you see it in the light, it actually looks pretty cool, just like the S24 Plus, right? So this is a violet. I think technically it's called violet, but it's pretty cool because when you actually get it, I'm trying to pop it out of this case. It's a very, very, very tight fitting case. So on this S24 Plus, it looks purple, right? But if you position it just right in the light, it almost looks like a silver with a hint of blue. Sometimes it looks all blue. Just depends on how you look at it in the light, right? I have a feeling this bronze color is going to be the same thing, right? I think it's going to look, depending on what lighting you're in, probably going to look pretty cool. So you have the bronze iPhone there on the 16 Pro. And then you're also going to have the other colors, right? So you're going to have silver. Excuse me. You're going to have a, what do they call it? Silver, but it's really white. I don't know. It's going to be a whitish color. You're going to have a dark-ish color. You're going to have a black color for the 16 Pro, right? The colors are kind of muted. Like on my thumbnail. Apple's really testing these iPhone users because it seems like every year come out with the same crap, and then they really don't give iPhone users a lot to be excited about, right? Because if you have an iPhone 15, right, or let's say you don't upgrade that often at all, right? I know there's a few people that are just like, whatever, it's the same iPhone. But they really don't give you. Now, I think that's their plan behind this iPhone 16 series as far as some of these bolder colors. Look, it's basically the same phone with just new internals. I think they're trying to spark a little interest with these bolder color choices than in years past, because in years past you'll get, like on the thumbnail, you'll get a dark gray, a white, a titanium, like a blue, like, but it's like a titanium, like a silver blue. Then you get a gold, or you'll get a black. It's not really bold. It's not like you're getting a pink Pixel 9, or it's a really real bold pink, where it looks like Pepto-Bismol, right? So I think that's what Apple was shooting for in this release, right? So they go back. Well, let's finish out the colors, right? So on the right, the very right, you get the iPhone 16 Pro Max in a black, a matte black, a charcoal black. That looks pretty cool. And again, I think it would look better in person, but that's just me. Now, speaking of looking like all the other iPhones, check this one out. So this is a basically computer generated file that shows the colors. Let's see what they look like in real life, right? So here's what they look like in real life. Now this is the iPhone 16, the base model. Now they go back. It's weird because it's like Apple is going back in time by giving you an iPhone 10 with a dynamic island, because that's basically what this iPhone 16 looks like, with the camera sensors on top of one another, staggered off to the top left-hand side. Looks like any other old iPhone they've ever released. You get a white, a black, a blue, a green, and a peach color, maybe? I don't know. Not really giving Apple fans a lot to cheer for. I'll just put it that way. Kind of blah color. So that's why I was thinking, shoot, maybe bronze will be the best one. Now, I am looking forward to getting this, believe it or not, because like I said, it'll give me all the right in the world to troll them as much as my little heart desires. This shall be fun, so I'm looking forward to it. So there you have the iPhone 16 models. Now, do I have any? Let's look at what Pixel put out just for comparison. So that's what Pixel put out. You got that. Here's those names again. You get that Peony. They call it Peony. I think Peoney. I've never heard of that name, that term, that word, that color before Pixel decided to put these phones out. Like Peony, what the hell is that? Had to Google it, and sure enough, a pinkish color popped up. So I don't know why they just don't call it pink, but it is what it is. Now this is the stock Pixel 9. Actually, the base Pixel 9 was a more boldish pink, as I mentioned. Kind of looks like Pepto-Bismol. But anyways, you got the pink Pixel. You got the white color, dare I say. It's almost a creamish color. You got the black. And then you have a lot of people's favorite, which is the mint green. So, let's see here. What is this? Oh boy, we're going to have some fun. So they think theming your iPhone is like something brand new. We've been doing that on Android since I can remember. Shoot, 2012, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, this shall be fun. Now there is some new information that I got. So those of y'all that like foldables are going to be excited with this news that I have here. Well, let me see if I can find it. Okay, got it. Here we go. So there we go. So if you like foldables, I have some interesting news for you. Oppo, as you know, Samsung is, I would say they're the world leader in foldables, right? I mean, Google's putting out a Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which is the Pixel Fold 2. I don't know. Again, these stupid names. So they've stamped their name in the foldable world. As I mentioned, Samsung, known for having really cool foldables. They probably sell the most, right? As far as units sold, number of units sold. Now Apple's going to get in the game. They've gotten the green light to basically come out with two devices. We know one's going to be an iPhone Flip. Now that's not coming out to the iPhone 18 2 years from now, but we do know it was given the green light, and that one will not have a crease. So we've reported on that a lot here at eSIM Studios, but putting Apple to the side, putting Samsung to the side, Google Pixel to the side, there are some foldables from other countries, other manufacturers that you might not be accustomed to. Now, who is that? Let me pull up the screen and I'll show you. But this one's cool. This one's a little different. Now, I came across this earlier today and I was like, wow, that's really cool. So, Oppo. Oppo is a huge Android phone manufacturer based in China. They do make some very, very nice devices. I haven't officially had an Oppo phone. However, Oppo does own OnePlus. So, saying you have a OnePlus phone, I guess technically means you've had an Oppo phone, and they do share design language quite a bit. Like the OnePlus 12, how it's got that round circular camera setup on the back. Some Oppo phones look pretty similar to this with the round stovetop circular camera setup on the back. So I guess you could say technically I do have an Oppo phone, but anyways, check this out. So Oppo's coming out with a tri-fold phone. That's correct. A tri-fold. So it has now tri-fold means, I guess you could think of it two ways, right? So tri-fold, does that mean it has 3 hinges or does it have 3 screens? Because this Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 that I have, I guess technically is a bifold. Now it's got 1 hinge, 2 screens. Now I guess they mean trifold, meaning 3 screens. So it's going to have 2 hinges, but it's going to fold up in a really, really cool fashion. So here's what. Now they're coming out with multiple trifold phones, not just one, multiple, right? And this is going to be the wave. This will be the future foldables, as you'll be able to, as we peek into the future, the foldables that we are accustomed to by Samsung, by Google. I think here in the near future, you're going to start seeing these tri-fold phones eventually make their way to the US. This is really cool. So you can basically, the way this is going to work, now this is like a Z Flip 6. And it's going to fold out once and then fold out again. Now the one that I've seen, and that I'll show you, is almost like a real tablet folded up. This looks really, really cool. Check this out. So, Oppo's executive director, Zhou Weibao, posted on Weibo a concept image of a tri-folding phone. The device seems to sport sharper square corners, slim bezels, and potentially an under-display selfie camera. Curiously, Zhou Weibao removed the Weibo post, but from its contents, it seems that Oppo plans to progress with the trifold form factor. Huawei, Xiaomi, and Tecno, a new tech company, a new phone company named Tecno, has also reportedly have tri-fold foldables in production, meaning they're not just toying around with the idea. In production means it's in the manufacturing plant and they are producing them for sale. So the race for a really, really cool tri-folding phone heats up as yet another smartphone OEM states they will have one in the works too. So I have an article here that we'll check out, spotted by innocn, the executive director of Oppo, Xiu Biao. I think I'm saying that wrong, but it is on what it is. I'm a stupid American. Took to Weibo to state that the company has its own tri-folding device in development via GSM Arena. From the concept image shared, the device features a glossy hinge and a potentially matte finish on all 3 rear panels. You hear me right, all 3 rear panels. It seems though as Oppo is leaning toward an in-display selfie camera. However, this is likely due to an early concept of what is in development right now. So it might not pan out that way with a under-display sensor, although I believe it will have an under-display sensor. Xiaomi has a foldable phone. Actually, they have a couple foldable phones that have an under-display selfie camera. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 has an under-display selfie camera. So that's like not unheard of, right? That they put a under-display selfie camera. That's going to be the wave of the future. Apple, that's correct. Apple is going to implement under-display selfie cameras. Starting with, I believe, iPhone 18 or 19. So here in just a couple of years, you're going to see iPhone. So with an under-display selfie camera. So that means when you're looking at your phone at the display, there's not going to be a hole punch. There's not going to be a dynamic island. Well, they may keep the dynamic island, but there's not going to be a hole punch. There's not going to be a pill. There's not going to be a notch. It's just going to be full display. Very, very cool. Here is the picture. So check this out. This is the picture that they're talking about. It looks like as I mentioned earlier, it looks like a tablet and you just fold it up. So it's got the traditional tablet dimensions, right? Aspect ratio. And then it basically has, as I mentioned earlier, 2 hinges, 3 screens, folds up into a normal sized phone, right? So it's just like you have a S23 Ultra and you just got 2 separate hinges and you simply just fold it open to turn into a tablet, right? Now, talk about fragile. Whoa, you better get insurance on this thing. Let's look at some more pictures and then we'll get into the dimensions of it. So, here's that innocn, the website that originally posted this. Let's see. I can't translate that. Check this out. Never mind. We won't check that out. I'm sure I will get a copyright strike, but have no fear. I got something for you. Live photo sharing. Interesting. Okay, where was I? Let's go GSM Arena. How about that? Oppo trifold concept showcased. Same picture. I'm looking for additional pictures. Let's do this. We'll go to Huawei's. Here we go. So this is the director of, what is he? So a few months ago, we heard Huawei was working on a tri-folding device. There's no word yet. Sorry. A few months ago, we heard Huawei's working on a tri-folding phone, but there's no word yet from Huawei about it. They haven't made a statement in regard to this tri-folding phone, but the company's former CEO, still got connections, obviously, currently serving as the chairman of Huawei's board of directors of the consumer conglomerate, was spotted using one. Let's check it out. So he got spotted using one in first class, it looks like. First class of some Chinese airliner. I'm assuming looks like another guy behind him using a traditional phone. Can I zoom in on this? They got it for us. There you can see, maybe hard to tell, but it is a tri-folding phone. So it's a tablet form. Looks like they have a pin here on the side. But you can see where there are 2 hinges and there are 3 displays in that foldable device. You can tell it does have a small crease, however. Hold on. Yeah, I see the crease. So that one looks like it still has a crease. However, when it comes to launch time, so we know Apple with their iPhone flip, when it comes to life, what is it, in 2 years from now, with the iPhone 18 models, that's going to have a 0 crease hinge. Who knows, by the time Huawei is ready, or Oppo is ready to release these, which could be probably this time next year. I think they're just doing a bunch of R&D at the moment, and that's typical, right, for new phones. They pass them around inside the company. All the board members use them. Some high-ranking officials and or chairman, high-ranking people, employees of the company will get privileged, will be lucky enough to be basically spotted a device, meaning a new device will get passed around. They use it for, I don't know, a month or whatever. And then they come back at a meeting and tell the R&D team what they like, what they didn't like. what they think they can improve on, and so on and so forth. So apparently he's using one of these prototypes. But my point was, when this comes time to launch, again, could be a year, could be 2 years, it's possible Huawei could figure out a zero crease hinge. So that's one thing Samsung did improve upon this year. I did notice a huge decrease in the crease in the screen of Samsung's foldables this year. The past couple of years didn't really look like there was any decrease in that crease that was there. But this year I could tell a big change. So it's almost gone for Samsung. Not quite yet, but they're getting close. I would hope within the next year or two, all these companies will have a zero crease screen, because I still think that bothers some people, right? Doesn't bother me, but, bothers some people. I guarantee you it would bother the typical iPhone user having a... Of course, they're not used to any cool stuff like that. They're used to the boring old iPhone. So the iPhone flip is going to make people's heads explode. But let's look at that Techno folding phone, because this one's pretty cool. I saw a video of this, so check this out. Are y'all looking at this? So, okay, good. So check this out. So this is like, so this is one of the advantages, right, of having a tri-folding phone with two hinges. You can lay it down on your desk, use one of the screens, one of the three screens as a keyboard, right? And you could dual, you could multitask, have dual screens. It looks like he's got three screens, right? So the middle screen looks as if it's one big widescreen, and then your top screen, the third out of the three screens, is split in half, and he's on a call on the top left, and he's got, I don't know, something going on the top right. So if you could, you can only imagine all sorts of cool multitasking functions this thing can do. Now this Techno tri-foldable has a 4:3 aspect ratio. That's pretty typical, or at least right around there for most tablets. So it'll be folded out into a tablet. Now, this is not the only function, not the only folding style you can have with this. Watch this. So here it looks like a Galaxy Z Fold 6, right? Now it's pretty thick, yes, but remember, it's got three freaking screens, right? So, but you can tell it's got one lower, it's got one middle, and it's got one up top. Got camera humps there again. Kind of looks like the Samsung. Looks like you have a speaker up top, maybe a microphone or a SIM eject pin. Got your hinges here. Nope, I take that back. Your hinges, you have one hinge on the top left and one hinge on the bottom right on the top side. This Techno looks like a really cool phone. So let's zoom in on here and see just how thin it is, because remember, when it's folded out, when it's completely out like a tablet, it needs to be razor thin, because when you close it up, could be pretty thick, right? So let's see what it looks like up close. Yeah, that thing is razor thin. It's probably 4 millimeters thick, something like that. Pretty freaking thin. Were y'all able to see that? Yeah. Now, check this out. How cool is that? Where you can basically prop it up like it's like a convertible laptop, like a 2-in-1 laptop, where you can put it in tent mode, or he's got it in tent mode with, look, with these hinges, apparently on these phones, on these tri-foldables, you can not only open it, because like with the Samsung Flip, right? With the Flip series, With this Flip series, you can only fold it one way, right? It only goes one way. With these, like with this Tecno phone or Oppo phone, you're going to be able to fold it in different ways. Like the hinge will be multifunctional, will be multi what do you call it? I guess 180 degree hinge. The Samsung's the Flip 6 and the Fold 6 are only the Samsung Galaxies are 180 degrees, right? Am I saying that right? And then the trifolds have to be 360 degree hinges, right? Because if you can fold it in a bunch of different ways, the hinge will have to be 360 degrees. I think that's right. I don't know. But it looks really cool. Sorry. Let's see what else we got. Should we play a little bit of this? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, why not? Let's skip forward. All right, so check this out. How cool is that? That looks badass. That looks badass. Yeah, I bet it's going to have a very, very high price tag. However, if you can get it from the manufacturer, I don't know if they're going to release this worldwide. If you get it on eBay, you're going to be paying a premium. If you can get it from Tecno, I don't think it'll be $4,000 or $5,000. I think they're going to try to hit the $2,500 price point, I believe. I think $4,000 to $5,000 is more than anybody would pay for it. I think they're going to try to hit $2,500. You can probably pay for it. I think it'll be obviously expensive, but it should be less than $4,000. I would assume it would be less than $4,000. What's going on, Brian? Daniel, thank you, sir. Yes, higher resolution ultra wide camera this year. Pixel had that a while ago, as well as high res telephoto. Yep, we sure have. We've had that for a while. Let me look up real quick before we get out of here. Let me look up this Tecno company and see what we're dealing with here. Tecno, no, not music Tecno. Let's put in Tecno phone. How about that? Here we go. Tecno mobile. So, Tecno mobile. Oh, looks like they already have phones. Oh, cool. So they do have phones already. Maybe I've heard of them. I don't know. It looks like they have some interesting stuff here. So this one appears to already be a phone. Can you purchase this? Whoa, that's a weird design. Sort of looks like a OnePlus. I wonder if Oppo owns this. Cool. Look at that color design. Yeah, Oppo's got to own Tecno because look, these designs look just like Realme phones, look just like some Oppo phones. I bet Oppo does own this. So Oppo is going to be the one designing this for sure. Interesting. Can you buy these? Probably have to get them on eBay or some other place. Now, they also make laptops. Huh. Their laptops are called a Megabook, kind of like Macbook, but it takes on that same design language as Apple. Oh, wow. Interesting. Huh. Who knew? Mini PC. What do we got here? Interesting. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it, guys, for the eSIM Studios podcast episode number 190. Do appreciate the time, and hope everybody has a good afternoon, good evening. I'm going to get out of here. I got some other business to attend to here shortly, so I will get out of here. But on that note, I want to thank everybody again for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. And wherever you get your podcast, search eSIM Studios Podcast, and you can get this in the audio form. Now, for the audio form, I clip it up, I chop it up, I take out the dead air, like that long intro when I'm letting people join the live stream. I cut that off, so as soon as you play the podcast, it'll start playing. You'll hear my voice. So I try to clean it up a little bit for the audio only crowd out there. Don't forget. Well, okay, before we get out of here, I got to deal with NordVPN. NordVPN, we're all familiar with NordVPN, probably the most well-known name in the VPN world. They are widely known for having the most secure, fastest servers out of any VPN service. I have a special for everybody. Simply go down to the link in the description box in the eSIM Studios YouTube channels. I'm going to start linking our NordVPN link in all of our description boxes, as well as the audio side, podcast side as well. NordVPN, the leader in virtual private networks, has teamed up with eSIM Studios to provide eSIM Studios viewers and listeners the most secure way to surf the net, with plans starting as low as, get this, $3.09 a month. $3.09 can get you a secure and private internet viewing experience. NordVPN, protecting yours and yours truly. Peace out, guys.